Please read with me these words from Isaiah chapter 9, verse 2 and verse 6. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them light has shined. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. The Prince of Peace. This is the time of year where you hear songs saying, peace on earth, goodwill to man, or as in UU hymnals to make them gender neutral, peace on earth to all, goodwill. And one of the famous songs that contain those words of peace was written by a Unitarian poet, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. And the first time I heard this song, I heard it on an album by Johnny Cash, and so had lots of gravity to it. And when he sang those lines, and in despair I bowed my head, there is no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong, and that mocks the song of peace on earth. It's struck me from a little child that every year at Christmas we sing about the King coming and the new world beginning and peace on earth, and then it's over. And we lose that vision year after year after year. We're living in an age where there's considerable violence. There's religious violence, violence against women in this country, violence against women in all countries, really. Violence that is over resources and water that is continually becoming more and more rare, and refugees running from war. And our neighbor to the north is welcoming Syrian refugees, and I listen to Canadian radio a lot, and they have all these human interest stories of the refugees who are coming in, and they're happy to welcome them. And our country is living in fear. And that courage that puts away that fear and is determined to affirm that good shall reign. And Longfellow writes it in that fourth verse of talking, God is not dead, nor doth God sleep. The wrong shall fail, and the right prevail, with peace on earth to all goodwill. And for those that are humanists, a contemporary of Henry Wadsworth Longfellow was Octavius Brooks Frothingham. And I loved how all the 19th century Unitarians had three names. I should just really go by Daniel Charles Davis to fit into that. But Frothingham said, I spell God with two O's and the devil without a D, and talked about good and evil. And so when we sing this, those of you who don't believe in a personified God can change the vowel. Just color it a little bit to your theological liking. Good is not dead, nor doth good sleep. Because there's a belief in goodness that gives people the courage to seek peace. It takes courage to go into war. I do not doubt that, though I've never had that experience. But to go in and put your life on the line with a rifle takes a lot of courage. But I think of people like Doctors Without Borders, whose hospital we bombed in Afghanistan, who go into these areas deliberately unarmed, and how much courage that takes. That courage to actively work for peace requires a belief that good is not dead, that the right will prevail and the wrong shall fail. Now, lots of people have liked Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's words, and they've set them to several tunes. The two that I'm familiar with is I heard the bells on Christmas Day, and then the other was I heard the bells on Christmas Day. Well, our people picked a tune that is neither one of those. And Don caught this, and we're going to sing the version I first heard Johnny Cash sing, I heard the bells on Christmas Day. And listen to Richard play it through once, and then we'll join in singing I Heard the Bells.